Welcome back to Banfi Podcast. So today we're taking a deep dive into something you use every single day,
Yeah,
but probably don't think too much about
right.
how we learn about the world.
Yeah.
We talk about everything from
Yeah,
hard science to
yeah.
figuring out people.
People.
And our main source material is something called First Episode,
Okay.
which really breaks down the Lego blocks.
The building blocks.
The building blocks of how we
Right.
build knowledge and test what we think we know.
You know what's so interesting about this is we all use this stuff
All right.
every single day.
Yeah.
But we do it kind of automatically. So
Yeah.
this deep dive is going to help us be more intentional about it.
I love that.
Whether you're reading an article or having, an argument with your friends or family about something you saw on the news.
Totally.
So it's really going to help us think more
Absolutely.
critically
I think
about
so, too.
how we understand information.
So First Episode jumps right into defining a theory.
Okay.
And it seems simple, right? Like we all know what a theory
Yeah.
is, like the theory of gravity, but
Yeah.
it actually gets pretty nuanced.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
even experts use the word
Yeah.
in different ways.
Yeah, so what we really want to think about is what
Okay.
is that core idea of a theory?
Right.
What are we really trying to get at?
Yeah, what's the meat of it?
So a theory isn't just like some random guess that
No.
pops into your head. A theory is how we explain
Okay.
why things happen.
Okay,
And the way we do that is we look for connections
Uh-oh.
between different ideas and facts and evidence.
got it.
Now, some theories are super broad.
Okay,
They explain like the whole universe,
Oh, wow.
like the Big Bang Theory.
Right.
Those are what we call grand theories, right?
okay,
And then other theories are more focused.
okay.
They explain a very specific
Right.
behavior, like maybe why people are more likely to help a stranger if they're in a good mood.
Okay,
We call those mid-range theories.
got it. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
a grand theory is like a whole map of the world.
Oh,
with
exactly.
Continents and oceans
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
yeah. Okay.
And then a mid-range theory would be like
Yeah.
zooming in on
Yeah.
like one city.
One city.
Exactly.
Exact. And you know what makes a theory really strong?
What's that?
It's all about how well it connects all those different bots
Okay.
and helps us make predictions about what might happen next.
So like if we know this, then this should happen.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
But here's something to always remember.
Okay.
Even the very best, most well-established theories, they can change
Right.
as we learn more.
So it's not about like being right or wrong. It's about like
It's about
always
what,
being open to
being open to new
information
information.
and like updating what you
To-
think,
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay.
And that kind of leads us to this idea of paradigms, right?
Okay. Yeah. Paradigms. This is where I think a lot of people get
It gets kind of fuzzy.
kind of confused.
Oh.
What's the difference between a
Right.
theory and a paradigm?
Okay, so imagine you're wearing a pair of glasses with like blue tinted lenses.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything you look at is going to have this kind of bluish
Right.
hue to it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what a paradigm does. It's a way
That's
of looking.
the lens that you're looking at.
Yes, it shakes what questions you even ask in the first
Okay.
place
Yeah.
and how you interpret
Yeah, this-
information that comes in.
Okay. So like two people
Yeah.
could be looking at the same thing, like the same
Mhm.
news story about,
yeah,
let's say,
yeah,
a new economic policy or something like that.
exactly. And one person looking through
Okay.
like an economics lens
Yeah.
might zero in on the job creation numbers.
Right.
And that's all they see.
Got it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody else
Yeah.
looking through more of a social justice lens or say, hold on a second,
Right.
who is actually benefiting from this?
Yeah.
And who's being left behind?
Right. So it's the same facts, but
Same exact facts.
totally different
Paradigms,
conclusions.
totally different conclusions.
Okay.
It's crazy.
That's
right?
really interesting to
Yeah,
think about.
Yeah.
So where does the scientific method
Oh, sure.
fit into all of this?
Well,
Because we tend to think of that as like a very objective,
objective,
kind
yeah.
of pure way to
Right.
find out about stuff, right?
Yeah, we tend to think of the scientific method as the
Uh-huh.
gold standard for
Yeah.
building knowledge, right?
Right.
It's all about making observations,
Mhm.
forming a hypothesis, testing it,
Mhm.
analyzing the
Right.
results.
Right. Right.
But here's the thing. Even science operates within paradigms.
What do you mean by that?
So, I mean that even scientists can be influenced
Right.
by their pre-existing beliefs.
So they might be
Right.
looking for information that confirms what they.
Yeah, they might not even be aware of it.
Right.
Right, it's just like that
Yeah.
that blue lens.
Okay, got it.
That's there,
Mhm.
whether you realize it or not.
So that's why this idea of falsifiability
Oh, yeah.
is so important.
Right. Is huge.
Because a good theory
Right.
should be testable.
It has to be testable.
And you should actually be able
And potentially proven wrong.
to prove it wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's not about.
Exactly. It's not about being right all the time. It's
Yeah.
about being open to changing your mind
Yeah.
when new information comes in.
It's about progress.
It's about progress. That's how science moves forward.
Got it. Okay.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
First episode makes a really good point
Mhm.
about this getting extra tricky
Right.
when we're studying humans.
Okay. Why is that?
So then, think about it. You can't really put people in a lab and control every single thing
Yeah.
about their
Can't
environment
control all the variables.
the way you can with like chemicals, right?
Yeah.
Human behavior, I mean, it's influenced by
So many things.
so many different things,
Yeah.
emotions, relationships, culture,
Yeah.
your personal history. Like, it's this whole web of complexity. You
Yeah.
can't just isolate one thing and say, aha, that's what's causing it.
It's never that simple.
It's never that simple.
And ethically, there's stuff.
Ethically, oh my God.
Right. There are limits to the kinds of experiments you can even do with people.
Yeah.
So social scientists
Have to get really creative with their methods.
Okay, so what kinds of things do they do?
So instead of those super controlled lab experiments,
Okay.
they do things like they go out and they observe people in their natural environments.
Interesting.
They interview people.
Okay.
They analyze historical data. So
Okay.
they're using all these different tools.
So it's like a different kind of
It's a different kind of challenge.
It's not easier or harder. It's just
Just different.
different.
Yeah.
Okay, so studying people is messy.
It's messy.
It's important.
But it's so important.
What's the takeaway for,
Right.
all of us
So,
listening?
Bright, what does this mean for
Right.
everyday lives?
For everyday lives.
We live in a world where we are just bombarded with
Right.
information
All the
constantly,
time.
constantly
Yeah.
from the news, from social media. You know, everyone's got an opinion.
Everybody's an expert.
Everybody's an expert.
Right,
So
yeah.
understanding these building blocks of knowledge
Okay.
is absolutely crucial
Yeah.
because it helps you be more
Yeah.
critical of all that information.
So it's like a toolkit
It's a toolkit.
for being able to sift through
Yes,
all of the noise
just through the noise.
and figure out what to trust.
what to trust when you understand how theories are